Assalamu alaikum, my dear student. Today our lecture it is rule of inference. When we talk about student the rule of inference, some basic terminologies we will use in this way. What is an argument? An argument we mean a sequence of statement that end with a conclusion. It means when we consider the different statements orderly, it means sequence of statement that the statement to close to the conclusion. This is called an argument. What is premises? Now premises represent here student all but the final proposition in the argument is called premises. What is conclusion? The final proposition is called conclusion in the given argument. What is fallacy? An argument is invalid. It is called a fallacy. So there are two types of argument. The first one is valid argument and the other one is invalid argument. If the given proposition is friend, you have so many proposition P1, P2, Pn. If you find the conclusion with tautology, so it means this type of argument is called valid argument. If when we consider the different propositions P1, P2 and Pn, and with the help of truth table, if it is false, so that's why we call it invalid argument. It means it is a contradiction according to the truth table. Or in another way, if an argument is invalid, this is called fallacy. So these are the basic terms we will use in arguments. So first, an argument is the propositional logic is a sequence of proposition. All but the final proposition in the argument are called premises and the final proposition is called conclusion. जो भी सीक्वेंस स्टेटमेंट आपके पास गिवन होती है उसको हम आर्गुमेंट कहते हैं और उसी आर्गुमेंट की फाइनल स्टेटमेंट तक अगर हम पहुंच जाएं, it means it is conclusion. For example, if you have a current password, then you can log on to the network. You have a current password. It means these are different types of, it means the sequence of a statement. The first statement, if you have a current password, then you can log on to the network. Both are conditional and you have a current password. That's why it is called conclusion. Therefore, you can log on to the network. It means you have a current password, then you can log on to the network. So it is logically valid argument. Again, I repeat, student, an argument in propositional logic is a sequence of propositions. It means propositional logic में जो sequence of propositions given होती हैं P1, P2, Pn, right? It is an argument. All but the final proposition in the sequence of proposition. It means at the end of the final proposition, This is in the argument is called premises, and the final proposition is called conclusion. It means when we reach the conclusion. So it is an example. If you have a current password, then you can log onto the network. So this is called premises. You can see that. Therefore represent here the conclusion. You can log on to the network. Now inference rule. It is in general form pattern establishing that if we know that a set of hypotheses are all true, then a certain related conclusion statement is true. It means if you have different types of premises or hypotheses, these are the basic similar terms, hypothesis and premises. Hypothesis 1, hypothesis 2, and hypothesis up to so on. Therefore, when we reach the conclusion, therefore represent here, it means the conclusion in according to the rule of inference. So according to inference rule, each logical inference rule correspond to an implication that is a tautology. It means when we consider the conditional statement according to each logical inference rule, if we reach the answer, it is tautology. So this type of argument is called valid argument. So hypothesis 1, hypothesis 2, therefore conclusion, it is represented here when we are applying different inference rule and corresponding the tautology. It means hypothesis 1 and hypothesis 2 and up to so on. When we connect with at the end of the result, it means when we reach the conclusion, this is called valid argument. With the help of different hypotheses, we will find rule of inference. An argument formed in the proposition logic is a sequence of compound proposition. It means more than one proposition if you have given. These are called propositional variable. For example, if you have a current password, it is P, then you can log onto the network. It means you can log onto the network is second proposition, and both are connected with if then. It means it is conditional statement. You have a current password, so this is called a student premises. If you learn about premises, right? So this is called premises. If you have a current password, therefore you can log onto the network. It is conclusion. So according to given condition, student, P implies Q. It means the first argument, it is P. Therefore it means that represent the conclusion. It is Q because when we define P and Q, so P implies Q. P, therefore Q. It means it is a conclusion. This conclusion, rule of inferences, modus ponens rule. Conditional statement, if you have a current password student, then you can log onto the network. You have a current password is called hypothesis. If conditional statement and hypothesis are true, it means you have a current password is called your hypothesis and it is conditional statement. If conditional statement and hypothesis, when they join together and they are true, so then the conclusion is true. So we write here, you can log on to the network. This means Now, what is valid argument in propositional logic? An argument is valid if the truth of all its premises implies that the conclusion is true. It means, student, an argument is valid if the truth values of all premises of all its premises implies then the conclusion is true. It means if you have given, for example, they have an argument with premises P1, P2, P3, and up to Pn, and the conclusion be represented by Q. So this argument is valid when all premises conditional with Q, and if it is tautology, that's why this type of argument is called valid argument. I give you an example with the help of truth table. You can use a truth table by showing whenever the premises are true, the conclusion must also be true. Right? According to conditional statement, if when premises are true, it means when premises are true, then the conclusion it must be true. These are the premises. So when we consider according to the truth table, first we find conditional statement with connected with conjunction, it means and P. Then we conclude with the conditional statement of Q. So the last column represent here, say all possible arguments are true. That's why we call it is the valid argument. Student, if you have, we can use a truth table to show that an argument form is valid by showing that whenever the premises are true, the conclusion must be true. In the previous slide, if an argument form involves 10 different propositional variables, for example, P1 to P10, to use truth table, it means how many rows you are needed to raise to the power 10, which is equals to 1024 rows are you needed. This is a tedious, long and boring approach. Now, first rule will define you. These are called rule of inferences. So the first one is rule of conjunction. Conjunction means AND operation when we applying in mathematical logic, because it is connected with mathematical logic. This topic is connected with the previous topic, it is mathematical logic. So the statement you have given, it is below freezing, it is raining now. These are the premises. The first premise is it is below freezing. The second premise is it is raining now. It means the second statement. So therefore, the conclusion shows that it is below freezing and it is raining now. Means these are the expected result. That's why we call it conclusion. So P and Q, with the help of conjunction, it means therefore P and Q. It means when we combine both premises, this will be conclusion. So this rule is called rule of conjunction. What is rule of addition? Rule of addition shows that the first premise it is below freezing now. Therefore, it is either below freezing or raining now. Means आज, for example, below freezing, it means बर्फबारी हो रही है student. So therefore, the conclusion represent here, it is either below freezing or raining now. It means conclusion defined as आज बारिश होने वाली है या फिर बर्फबारी होने वाली है. So this rule is called rule of addition when P is the premises and the conclusion is P or Q with the help of addition operation. When we join together, this is called disjunction rule. So rule of simplification. What is rule of simplification? When P and Q is called premises and the conclusion is P only. So the first statement shows that it is conjunction statement. This is called premises, and the conclusion represent here. Therefore, it is below phrasing now. So it means the conclusion with the help of P and Q. It means Q depend on P. If it is raining, then it is expected to below freezing now. कि रात में सर्दी हो जाए अगर बारिश हो रही है. Now, what is rule of inference? The modus ponens rule. In another way, we call it law of detachment or the mode of affirming. So, law of detachment means when the result we accept and when the result will be denial. So, this rule is called modus tollens rule. Right? The difference between modus ponens rule and the modus tollens rule. When the mod is affirming, it means when we accept the statement or when we denying the statement. So this is called modus tollens rule, and when we accept the statement, it is called modus ponens rule. In another way, we call it law of detachment. I give you example. P is a premises if it means it is snow today. Then we will go to skiing. It means P implies Q. It means there are two statements. P implies Q, the conditional statement. It is snowing today. Therefore, it is snowing today. It means first premises is the second premises. Therefore, order is not important. So the conclusion is we will go skiing because snow it is snowing today. आज सुबह से बर्फबारी हो रही है. It means we will go skiing. मैं skiing करने move कर रहा हूँ, जाऊँगा. Now modus tollens rule. If the statement is negation, for example, it is not snowing today. It is, sorry, we will not go skiing. So the conditional statement is, if it is snows today, then we will go skiing. The conclusion it is not snowing today. So the rule, when the negation symbol is represent here, the mode of denying, it means it is not accepted. When the conclusion shows that it is negative, so it means mode of denying. So this rule is called modus tollens rule. When the conclusion it is positive, so it is affirming. Affirming means when we accept the conclusion. What is rule of disjunctive syllogism? P or Q, it is premises, first premises and the negation of P. When we join together, the answer it is the second conclusion, the second statement, if it is positive. So this rule is called rule of disjunctive syllogism. I give you example, student, about some rules when we consider. So student, I give you examples about the addition rules. Now determine whether the argument is valid. It means the first statement, it means the premises you have given. If I study hard, then I get A's. The second premise is it is if I study hard, and some other statements, and when the conclusion is I get A's. So student, we will check here that argument it is valid or invalid. Find the solution. First we write P, the first premises represented by I, P. I study hard. It means the first statement. Now what is the second statement? Q, I get A's. So this argument, the argument may be written as if I study hard, it means P implies Q. And I study hard, it means it is P. Then we draw a line, it means it is conclusion. So therefore, it is Q. So according to given condition, student, when the first statement is conditional, the second one is simple. So this rule is called modus ponens rule. But how can we check the given argument is valid or invalid? So if we solve it according to given condition, P implies Q and P and implies Q with the help of truth table. If it is tautology, if it is tautology, that's why the argument, this argument is valid. So with the help of truth table, we check here, this argument is valid or invalid. So true, true, false, false, true, false, true, false. First, we make a column P implies Q, student. If both are true, it is true. If both are false, it is false. If first is true, the other is false, it is false. If first is false, the other is true, it means true. When we join together P implies Q and P, it means third column multiplying by first column, 1.1 it is 1, it is 2, 1.0 it is 0, it means F, it is 0, it is F, it is 0, it is F. And when we join this with make conditional P implies Q and P connected with Q, it means when we consider this column, with this column according to conditional statement. If both are true, it means true. If both are false, it is false. Both are false, it is true. If both are true, it is true. And both are false, it is false. When both are false, it is true. And when the first statement is false, the other one is true, it is true. So this column represent here student tautology. That's why the given argument is valid according to modus ponens rule. तो इस तरह हम स्टूडेंट आर्गुमेंट को चेक करेंगे. ये हमने एक एग्जांपल दिया आपको स्टूडेंट कि अगर आपके पास क्वेश्चन ये इस तरह आ जाए कि डिटरमिन वेदर द आर्गुमेंट इज वैलिड, it is a part of question. So first we will convert into P and Q. It is P, it is Q. Then the premises continuously. Then the last statement is called conclusion. So first we will convert into P and Q. Then the argument may be written as according to first statement it is conditional. Now the second it is P. So P implies Q, and it is Q because it is the conclusion. And conclusion written with therefore sign. So this rule is called modus ponens rule. And modus ponens rule, if it is tautology, so we will check in the next step. If it is tautology, that's why we write this argument is valid. Otherwise, it is invalid argument. So we will check here, student, with the help of truth table. We determine in the last column all possible propositional variable is true. So it means it is tautology. Tautology. That's why we call it the given valid the argument is valid. Now I give you another example. The next application about the rule of inference. Determine whether the argument is valid or invalid. Now statements you have given a student, if this number is divisible by 6, then it is divisible by 3. Then it is divisible by 3. The first statement. The second statement, this number is not divisible by 3. Not divisible by 3. And the conclusions is the last argument, we call it conclusion. After that, this number is not divisible by 6. So first we write P and Q, student. This number, first we write P. This number is divisible by 3, 6. And what is Q? This number is divisible by 3. So these are the first stating statement. So it means according to given condition, student, the first statement shows that if this number is divisible by 6, then this number is divisible by 3. So it means P implies Q. First we write. So this argument can be written as so first we write here P implies Q. Now the second one is this number is not divisible by 3. It means it is negation Q because it is negative. So negation Q, it means the negation of this statement. So we write here negation. Then the last statement is this number is not divisible by 6. It means negation of Q, P. So therefore, represent here the conclusion. So this rule is called Modest-Tollin rule because the result is in negative form. So it is called Modest-Tollin rule. The name of rule is called Modest-Tollin rule. So if we check, it is this argument is valid or invalid. P implies Q. Now we check. This argument is valid or invalid. So student, according to Modest-Tollin rule, when P implies Q and negation Q, so it means negation Q and P implies Q with conditional negation P. It means we connect both of them with AND operation, and it is another conditional statement. So we write here according to a given condition. So we will make a table, truth table, true, true, false, false. In the first column, what is Q? True, false, true, false. So first we make negation P and negation Q. It means the negative of first column. It is false, false, true, true. And the other one is false, true, false, true. Now what is P implies Q? It means both are conditional. So it means when both are true, it means it is true. And both are false, it is true. When first one is true, the other is false, it means if P is true and Q is false, it means it is false. If P is false and Q is true, it means true. So student, when we join with negation of P with AND operation, so P implies Q, and represent here the multiplication. So 1.0 it is 0, it means false. 0.1 it is 0, it means false. 1.0 it is 0, it means false. And 1.1 it is 1, it is true. And the last column it is when we join this column with negation P means the third column. So this will be negation Q and P implies Q. Whole negation implies that negation P we will find the value. So we applying here student conditional. So first we consider this column, then it connect with negation P. So it means if both are false, it is true. If both are true, it is true according to conditional statement, right? When first one is false, the other one is false, both are false, it means it is true. And the first one is false, the other one is true, it means it is true. So if the answer it is in true form, so this argument is valid argument. यहाँ पर हमने स्टूडेंट आपको एप्लीकेशंस दी, रूल ऑफ इन्फ्रेंस को आप इस तरह चेक कर सकते हैं. सबसे पहले अगर आपके पास कोई डिफरेंट स्टेटमेंट्स आपको स्टूडेंट गिवन है, तो उन गिवन स्टेटमेंट को आपने रूल्स में डिफाइन करना है अकॉर्डिंग टू गिवन स्टेटमेंट्स. जैसे मैंने आपको दो एप्लीकेशंस कराई, मॉडस टॉलन रूल एंड मॉडस कॉनन रूल. अब हम बात कर लेते हैं स्टूडेंट द नेक्स्ट एप्लीकेशन अबाउट disjunctive syllogism. So now write an application about them. Question: determine whether the argument is valid first statement, either Ram is not guilty or Shyam is telling the truth. The first statement. Now the second statement is Shyam is not telling truth. It is now the second statement, and some statements after that we find a conclusion. Ram is not guilty. Ram is not guilty. So student, first we will define what is P and what is Q. Then we start the solution. So first we will define you what is P. P is Ram is not guilty. Now the second statement Q, it is Shyam is telling the truth. Is telling the truth. There are two statements, student. So it means according to first statement, either true, Ram is not guilty. It means it is P, either represent here or Ram, Shyam is telling the truth. It means P or Q. Now the second statement is when Shyam is not telling the truth. It means the negation of Q. When we join together, the last statement represent here, Ram is not guilty. It means it is P. So therefore, the conclusion is P. So this rule is called disjunctive syllogism. Disjunctive syllogism. So according to disjunctive syllogism, friend, we check if this argument is valid or invalid. So P or Q and negation Q implies P. So we check this argument is valid or not. So it means we will make a table, truth table. With the help of truth table, we will determine the argument is valid or invalid. If the last column represent as all variables where all arguments are false, it means it is invalid argument. For example, true, true, false, false, true, false, true, false. It means first we make P or Q. The second is negation Q. The third one is P or Q and with negation Q. And the last column it should be P or Q and negation Q it will be connected with conditional statement P. So P or Q it means when we are applying the addition operation, 1 plus 1 it is 1, 1 plus 0 it is 1, 0 plus 1 it is 1, and 0 plus 0 it is 0. Negation Q means when we consider the second column, it means true, it will be converted into false, false is true, false is true. And the last, when we join together with AND operation, the student t dot 1 dot 0 it is 0, means false, 1 dot 1 it is 1, 1 dot 0 it is 0, it means false, and 0 dot 1 it is 0, it means false. And the last one is when we consider this column to the first column and applying the conditional statement, it means if the first statement is false, the other one is true, it means it is true. If both are true, it means it is true. If both are false, in both cases, it means it is true. So all statements are represented here in the truth table. At the end of the table, it is true. So this argument is valid. इस तरह हमने स्टूडेंट यहाँ पर सम रूल्स को डिफाइन करते हुए आपको ये बताने की कोशिश की कि वैलिडिटी ऑफ आर्गुमेंट किस तरह चेक की जाती है. इट हैज सम रूल्स. तो उन रूल को डिफाइन करते हुए हम इजीली डिटरमिन कर सकते हैं. रूल्स ऑफ इन्फ्रेंस आपको याद होने चाहिए. स्टूडेंट हम बात कर लेते हैं Student, we consider another application about the rule of inference. Show that P is a valid conclusion from the premises if you are given. So these are the premises you have given, student. P implies Q, Q implies R, R implies S, negation S, and P और T. ये आपके पास स्टूडेंट प्रीमिसेस गिवन है. जैसे हम प्रीवियस एप्लीकेशंस में हमने ये देखा था कि आपको प्रीमिसेस गिवन होते थे, उससे आप कंक्लूजन ड्रॉ करते थे. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पर ये प्रीमिसेस इस फॉर्म में गिवन है कि वी विल यूज डिफरेंट लॉज, different rule of inference. With the help of different rules of inference, we will determine which argument is so. First we will make first column, it is statement reason. We will make in this way. There are two columns. The first statement, when we consider student P implies Q, it is called premises. We write in the column of reason. The second one is Q implies R. It is also premises. Premises student you have given. It means you have given these are the premises. And the third premises, if we write here R implies S, it is another premises. After writing the premises, student, we think about when we join and find the new result. For example, if we combine first and second premises, so it means we write here using 1 and 2. So it means 1 and 2 according to hypothetical syllogism. P implies Q, Q implies R, which is P implies R. When we connected both conditional statement, so it means Q will be removed and the answer it is P implies R. So this rule is called hypothetical syllogism. So we write here student hypothetical syllogism. It means using 1 and 2, it is hypothetical syllogism, and the answer it is P implies R. We write here. And the rule defined on the in the column of reason, hypothetical syllogism. Now again, when we use this one, the fifth one is when we combine 3 and 4. 3 and 4, it means 3 is premises and 4 is defined. in the step number 4. So when we join together, student, again the rule is R implies S, P implies R. It means R will be removed. The answer it is therefore P implies S. So this rule is called hypothetical syllogism. Both are similar. So student, we write here in the column of statement P implies S with the help of using 3 and 4. The rule we will follow, we write here hypothetical syllogism. Now 6.1. Student, when we consider the premises, it means what premises we have left? Negation S. We will use in the 6th number. So we write here, student, negation S. It means it is premises. Premises you have given in the question. So we write here. The next point, if we think about when we join 5 and 6. So 5 and 6 says that modest tall and rule P implies S and negation S, which is when we join together negation P, it is modest tall and rule. So we write here, student, negation P, it is using 5 and 6. The rule is modest tall and rule. We will define here modest tall and rule. Because the result it is in negation. It means negative. Now the 8th one is, if we use the last premises, student, P or T premises. When we join 7 and 8, if we join, it means using 7 and 8. So the answer it is, when we are applying here P or T, negation P, which is T, therefore T. So this rule is called disjunctive syllogism. Disjunctive syllogism. According to rule of inference, this result is known as disjunctive syllogism. Using 7 and 8, we show here the rule and the conclusion is T. So the answer is तो स्टूडेंट यहाँ पर हमने show that T is a valid conclusion from the premises. इन premises को apply करते हुए, इनको combine करते हुए rules को define किया, rule of inferences को define किया और final conclusion draw किया. So and the last application about the rule of inference. So first we write an application about the rule of inference. Show that the hypothesis Student, you have given the statements. The first statement, you send me an email. You send me an email message. Now the second statement you have given, I will finish writing the program what is R, I will go to sleep early. And the next statement, it is represented by S. These are the statements. I will wake up feeling refreshed. So these are the statements. So student, the statement you have given, if you send me an email message, then I will finish writing the program. If you send an email message, then I will finish writing the program. It means the first premises is P implies Q. Now, then the next statement, if you don't send me an email message, if you don't send me an email message, it means negation P. Then I will go to sleep early. Then I will go to sleep early. It means conditional with R. It is second premises. So we will determine the premises with the help of given statements. Now the next one is, if I go to sleep early, then I will wake up feeling refreshed. It means I will go to early, then I will wake up feeling refreshed. It means R implies S. It is another premises. Lead to the conclusion, student, if I don't finish writing the program, then if I don't finish writing a program, it means the negation of Q. It means these are the premises, and the conclusion is, I repeat again, lead to the conclusion, if I don't finish writing the program. If I don't finish writing the program, it means negation Q. Then I will wake up feeling refreshed. It means it is connected with S. So negation Q implies S. स्टूडेंट यहाँ पर हमने ये सीखा कि अगर हमारे पास डिफरेंट स्टेटमेंट्स हों तो हम उसको पहले प्रीमिस P Q R S सिंपल स्टेटमेंट में कन्वर्ट करेंगे और कन्वर्ट करने के बाद हम फिर इसके कंक्लूजन को डिटरमिन करेंगे. अब हम इसका कंक्लूजन डिटरमिन करने जा रहे हैं स्टूडेंट. सो वी मेक 2 columns, step and statement, reason, statement and reason. It means step means when we consider the premises, we write here statements, not steps. So these are the statements. With the help of different statements, we reach the conclusion. What is the statement? The first statement, P implies Q, student. It is premises. Premises when you have given in the question. And the second premises you have given using one, if we take the contrapositive student, the contrapositive of one, it is negation Q implies negation P. हमने क्या किया, इसका कंट्रापोजिटिव बना दिया. अगर आपके पास कंडीशनल स्टेटमेंट है P implies Q, इसका कंट्रापोजिटिव क्या होता है, नेगेशन Q implies negation P. यूज हमने वन को किया और वन से हमने इसको कंट्रापोजिटिव फॉर्म बना. सो वी शो हियर कंट्रापोजिटिव. नाउ द थर्ड. So the third one is you have given the statement, it means premises. You have given, G represent here the given. And the fourth one is when we consider 2 and 3, it means using 2 and 3 student. According to when we use 2 and 3, it will be converted into hypothetical syllogism. Negation Q implies negation P, and negation P implies R. So the conclusion is negation Q implies R. This will be deleted. So it means negation Q implies negation R represent here. We write here in the fourth step. It is hypothetical syllogism. We define the rule. Now the next one. When we consider student, the fifth statement, if you have given, it means the fifth premises R implies S. Fifth, the last premises you have given. So we will write here in the fifth step. So R implies S. It is premises you have given. When we use here student fourth and fifth, using 4 and 5th, again we define the rule. Q implies R, R implies S. When R it should be deleted. The answer is QS, but it is negation Q, sorry. So negation Q implies S in the sixth. So we write here in the sixth step, negation Q implies S. This rule is called hypothetical syllogism. So we write here. So we find the conclusion student with the help of different premises, and we applying the different rules when we connected with each other with the help of knowledge. So we will find the conclusion. So student, I have completed my lecture. आज हमने क्या सीखा? Rule of inference में हमने सीखा कि different rules को किस तरह define किया जाता है और इन rules को identify करना सीखा, उसकी validity को check करना सीखा कि which argument is valid, और फिर हमने ये सीखा कि if you have given the premises, then how can you find the conclusion? With the help of rule of inferences, we find the conclusion easily. In the last application, we have discussed in two ways. The first one is, if you have given some statement, then you will convert into the argument PQRS or and so on. Then it will be converted into read all statements in the given question. First you find the premises, and with the help of reading the question, then you find the conclusion, and after that, when we consider the premises and determine the conclusion with the help of rule of inferences, different rule of inferences when we apply, then we find the conclusion. So thank you very much. Take care. God bless you. Allah Hafiz.